Sadia, Andrew Tate,
yeah.
they have the same type of messages, you know. They make more money by attacking women.
I remember us saying, like, where is this husband?
Yeah,
I actually Googled it multiple times.
You were
I'm like, where is this husband? I don't know. You don't behave and you don't speak like a woman who has a husband.
If you never receive love, if you doesn't understand what is true love, true relationship, how can you explain to someone how to find it?
How to get it. Sadia Khan will never say certain things about herself because she cannot be perceived a certain way because she lives in Dubai.
Because someone will show you that he have money,
yeah,
you're gonna trust him more about other things, other topics than someone who don't have money but live the life of what he's talking about. All right, fam. Today, another discussion, another talk. And I guess we want to talk about how can you call that? I don't want to say fake coaches. Fake psychologist? YouTuber psychologist?
Right. Well, yeah, I think they're more like relationship coaches, life coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, the person we have in mind in particular is Sadia Khan because she's the topic of the moment.
The moment now, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And how funny it is that we were talking about her. I think it's like 2 years ago, even, because when we start this journey of making this podcast, we were looking. Of course, she was one of the top
relationship coaches or therapists or whatever.
Especially for men, by the way.
Well, I mean, I don't know if she's ever really said that specifically, but I think majority of her audience is.
Oh yeah, she said it.
Oh, did she?
She said it because on her website, the thing is like how to be a high value man, all these things, and so it's probably targeted. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, over the last couple of years, we've had many discussions about Sadia Khan in particular.
Yeah.
Just because we had a lot of we had a lot of opinions around the way that she kind of demonizes women and kind of promotes toxic masculinity in some way, even though she's saying that even though she's trying to teach men how to be high value men.
Yeah. I also think like she's being a big part, I mean, of this war between men and women as well.
Yeah.
By what she was saying, you know? And also she's being a part of this army of YouTubers.
Right.
I don't say that you cannot empower men, but there were no balance. It's more like empower men because they know that men are looking for guidance on social media. I would say maybe more than women.
Yeah, when we did research, we definitely learned that men do like search more for relationship advice on YouTube than women do. And it makes sense because men don't talk between each other.
Exactly.
And men don't go seeking advice from their dads or, other people.
Yes.
So they kind of do it in private and they're just looking for someone to help them understand their feelings and their wants and needs. And so because they have to do it in private, they're just like at home on their computer searching it so nobody knows that they're struggling,
Yeah. And so she was a part of those, I call this army because you could see that there is her, there is Myron, Myron, I don't know his name again, forgot the rest of his name. It's not relevant anyway. Sadia, Andrew Tate, all those, they have the same type of messages,
That's right.
And like I said, they make more money as well.
Coolly as well.
Yeah. They make more money by attacking women as well. This is something that they probably figured out.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen over watching all of these people in discussions, they talk through a lens that is partially influenced by religion and religion, like the way they grew up religiously. Also, it's interesting because they talk more about women who come from broken households or who are, you know, had a vulnerable upbringing.
Yeah.
And who might be more prone to making decisions that aren't necessarily progressive for their life, right? So they're talking about these women, and then they're talking about quote unquote high value men.
Yeah.
And so it's they're creating a bigger gap because what they're doing is it's either the good girl or the bad girl. And I always find that quite funny when women like Sadia Khan, for example, talk about the good girl perspective. Because again, like as soon as you start talking about good girl, you're putting yourself under the man. Because the term girl is for a child. It's not for a grown person. So I think the goal is to be a good human.
Yeah.
Not a good girl.
Exactly. But the behind this, when you say religion and everything, I think as well that the algorithm and the audience statistic as well play a big part on what they are saying.
Absolutely.
Now on YouTube, this is how crazy it is because before and still people have prejudices. People are what they are thinking and what their value is led by their education, their religion, where they come from, their background, and etc. etc. Yeah, of course. But now, the experimented YouTubers are also talking about things based on the algorithm.
The experience.
The experience.
Yeah.
YouTubers, and even the one who start, because now we all know.
Right.
They are talking and they are saying things, not because they believe in it 100%. Or not because they practice it as well. That's something that we're going to talk about. Exactly, or they live what they're talking about. But because there is an audience.
Works. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing that that Trump does. It's the same thing that Hitler did.
Yes.
It's that tactic, is the shock value. And then that when they say things that are unhinged or people are too afraid to say out loud, but they're secretly thinking it, especially misogynistic people, then they attract this audience. And then they also attract the people who are completely disgusted by that.
Yeah.
And later on, they'll start to attract people who are actually educated and have a balanced view of relationships because they start to talk about things that make sense. So it's like, they start with this shock value, like Andrew Tate, he'll talk about slapping women and, women, he can cheat and they can't and this and that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he changes his tune and says that, if he's in a relationship, he doesn't cheat. Then in his real life, we see that he does beat women and cheat on them. So it's quite interesting because he will just say anything at any time, depending on his mood, depending on who he's talking to, depending on which audience he wants to reach. Because if you look at his videos from which you showed me when he was a boxer, and the way that he spoke and the way that he carried himself was very of an insecure man in a way.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like this macho who's yelling at the camera with all his very strong opinions.
But you know why you're talking about that. The way he talk, the way Myron talk, the way all the men who copies him a little bit talk.
Coolly,
You don't see a correlation between all of them.
Yeah.
They all do the same type of strategy. The video are very cut.
Yeah.
Like
so that they're always yelling non-stop.
No gap,
they're so confident in what they're saying.
Exactly. The editing helped them as well to look to appear confident and know what they are talking about.
It doesn't look like there's any pause for thought.
Yes. You think so? If you're watching that, and at a million of people are watching that without being users of YouTube.
Yeah.
They are watch. I mean, there are people who watch. They don't use it professionally.
Yeah, of course.
So they don't understand. I would say more than half of what's happening when they're watching the video.
That's exactly
So they just receive the information and see a guy who talk, who doesn't even think, who just said a thing like that. It's just coming from from his mind and things. So he's so confident, you know. For some men who are lost, for some men who don't know, for example, where they are in life when they are 20, when you try to find yourself, and they listen to those guys, they're like, wow, I want to look like that. I want to look confident like that, you know?
Yeah, because all women say they want confident men.
Yes.
And so I think it's difficult to grow up as a confident boy in this society. And so, of course, these people who are out here seemingly so confident and so opinionated, of course, they're going to attract these young boys who think, okay, look at this guy, so confident, he's so rich, he has so many girls. And, you know, for example, Cooley, he's always, you know, proving a point. What happened there? Oh my goodness.
Shit.
Oh, there was a motorcycle accident. That's really sad. So like Cooley, for example, he always has a bunch of women on his panel, and he's the entire time, in a sense, interrogating them and then shutting them down, interrupting them, making them sound stupid, to the point where even if these women had valid points, they get so I guess they get really
overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed and
that is stupidity, but
no, but they get overwhelmed and then they shut down, so they start to agree with him.
Because the type of woman that those people are casting, I don't say that they are not smart, because smart is not, I mean,
it's relative.
It's relative. But they are not the type of woman who will be able to have a debate on those subjects.
I don't think they're confident women. That's the thing.
They're not confident.
Yeah.
They are insecure.
Yeah.
And also, they don't even think that way, you know, because it's not everyone who also can have debate about those things, you know. Think about something else than yourself, your individual self. Because when you talk about those things, you don't only talk about yourself. You don't, because when I talk about those things sometimes, and I have a debate, if someone talk to me and I talk about a general thing, a general subject, and you all, because you don't have argument, you're gonna tell me, oh, but I know someone who did that yesterday, so that means
that everybody
do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, so then the conversation is stopped, you know, because it doesn't mean anything anyway.
Right.
One person on billion of humans, it doesn't, you know.
Yeah, no, I understand.
You know
it's that,
I mean?
you know, just because one person, you know, validates your opinion doesn't mean that everybody thinks that way or behaves that way.
And even if you know thousands of people, that's not the crazy part. Even if you see a million of
that's exactly
it's not everyone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So not everyone have these things. So when you put those girls there and you have a guy who say a bunch of nonsense. The first, before I start to talk about this, I want to say something as well. Those people, Andrew Tate, influencer, all those guys, so they have something in correlation as well. When they talk about women, they talk about the cause, the consequences, but not the cause of the problem.
Yeah.
You know, and because the viewers doesn't make research on history or whatever, then they look like they are right on what they are saying.
Yeah.
For example, thing that I hear a lot from Myron, and I think Kule as well, you just take it as well. 70% of women initiate marriage.
No, initiate divorce. Yeah.
And they're like, so that means that, you see, it's the fault of the woman.
If the woman stay,
yeah. And if a woman leave a marriage and left the child, then she's a bad woman. You see, if I say that like that, then you hear that, you're like, oh yeah, that's true. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're gonna know people in that circumstance.
Exactly.
You could be in that circumstance.
Exactly.
And then you start to relate to it. But it's also like these snippets of information also alter how we think. Yeah. And that's psychologically proven. And that's why they say these outlandish things.
Yes.
Because it makes it seem like it's coming from a place of research and education. But they're not telling you the full story.
Exactly, and this is the full story about this. To give you an example, when he said this about 70% of women initiate divorce, it's because you need to watch that before in the Western world, because those guys are in US, in the Western world, women couldn't go out of a marriage like that, even if they get beaten. And it was even in 1960s, you know, it wasn't that far away.
I mean, they wanted to.
Even if they wanted to, they couldn't.
Because they didn't have money.
They didn't have money.
Work.
Okay? Mm-hmm. They were looking for home during years and years and years. So you have nothing. You don't know what to do in terms of professional skills.
Yeah.
So you have to stay there, otherwise you're alone. And at the same time, when you leave, the guy gonna tell you take the kids.
Yeah, and also society outcasts you.
And on top of it, society look like you are a piece of.
Right.
Because you don't have your husband.
That's exactly right.
So now that women have power, more power than before, now, if the man doesn't deserve her, she's gonna leave and do her life. And that's why, and also, why men doesn't initiate the divorce more than women, it's because women do way more things than men in the house.
Yeah.
That's as well why. When they try to tell you the contrary.
Yeah.
So, if your bigger asset is there, you better go to cheat and come back to sleep home.
Right.
And stay there. But if you are the bigger asset, why are you going to cheat and come back?
Yeah, exactly.
Just going to find a man and leave you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's it. So you see, when I tell you that, then it's different. It's very different than just tell you, oh, you see, they are bad women. Huh? Because they initiate. So that's what I wanted to say about those. That's what I wanted to say about that. They use these tactics a lot. And I think they all take the same courses about this as well, about psychology, some things. The same way you take business courses. I think they all take courses as well to change and to become someone on social media, to become a type of talker. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's all strategy. It's all strategy. But at the end of the day, when it comes to these coaches, what I notice the most is the fact that they don't really have a stance. And they change their views based on whatever is trending at the moment.
Yes. Yes.
And also, interestingly enough, they don't actually have relationships. Like, you don't hear them having an actual relationship. Even Myron was questioned about, does he have a girlfriend? And finally he posted some girl. And the thing about it is, though, none of these people have a successful marriage. None of them have a successful, monogamous, loving relationship.
Yes.
Yet they are here giving advice. Yes. And you know what they say, if you can't do, coach. That's why there's basketball coaches and soccer coaches, because they say if you can't do, then coach.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't make sense to take advice from people who literally can't do it for themselves, especially when it comes to such an important life decision.
Yeah.
You're listening to people who literally cannot connect with another human being on a soul level.
And that's what I was going to ask you. You said, when they said, if you can do, coach, I feel like those things can't work in this subject.
No.
When you talk about psychology,
no.
And when you talk about relationship,
yes,
and you giving advice,
right?
Because for us, it's the biggest choice of your life, the bigger moments of your life, finding someone who lives next to you.
Yes.
So I don't think, if you don't understand that, if you never receive love, if you doesn't understand what is true love, true relationship, how can you explain to someone how to find
how to get it? Yeah, exactly. And then what it should be. And a lot of the times, I don't actually hear them talking about true love or true connection.
No.
Like, when it comes to a relationship, it's more about, be a high value man, be a high value woman, attract this, attract that. What do you deserve? What you can get from each other, how how you should behave in a relationship. But it's not like there's nothing spiritual, like, because love isn't just materialistic and tangible and physical. It's also spiritual, it's emotional. And so that part is not covered in these conversations. It's always about how you should act, what you should do, how you should behave, but it's never about how you can recognize a true connection, what it means to have it, how it improves your life. And they can't talk about that because they never experienced it.
Exactly. You just touched the point. You just touched the thing. They can't. They have to talk about everything around, but not the actual subject, the real target.
Yes.
They can't, because they don't know what they're talking about most of the time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And also, when they talk about it, again, they're talking from a perspective that is, it's still kind of
far away from reality.
Yeah, but I can't even put a word, like it's clouded by religious upbringing. So what I'm trying to say is, like, for example, Sadia Khan will never say certain things about herself because she cannot be perceived a certain way because she lives in Dubai.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and also, you know, for a long time, she's claimed that she has a husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember us saying, like, where is this husband?
Yeah,
I actually Googled it multiple times.
I'm
like, where is this husband? I don't know. You don't behave and you don't speak like a woman who has a husband. So I'm very confused. Like, where is this husband?
Yeah.
I still don't know if he's real.
And you know, when you talk about what I just realized, why we are able to
pick up on it.
To pick up on it. It's because we have each other.
Right. Yeah.
So if you give an example, we'll be able to feel if it's true or not, or if this example, if it's even a reality.
That's right.
You know, of course, we don't know if you lie 100% because you need proof and everything. But there is certain things that when you are living this life, then you understand that this makes no sense.
And this is the other thing. She also speaks from a perspective of the superficial woman, because she always talks about the type of people she's surrounded by in Dubai, especially. So there's a lot of, you know, gold diggers. There's a lot of money over there. There's a lot of superficial behavior. And it's like, you are talking from a perspective that's like, you think you're generalizing, but you don't really know how people live, think, or feel, or you don't really know that because you don't, you're not even exposed to it.
Yeah, and that's true, because look what's happened to her now.
Right.
Look what's happened to her now.
So she's always talking about, you know, being a high value woman and how women who cheat or subject themselves to being side chicks, you know, are not high value, they're low class. She's even like had conversations with Andrew Tate, you know, being all excited to meet him, agreeing with him and his, you know, very
they have the same target.
Right. And so it's insane, because the thing is, she wants people to follow her. She wants women to look up to her and be like her, and then she wants men to find women who are not gold diggers. But she's speaking from experience. Like, she's one of them. She's able to articulate all of these things because that's what she's doing. Yeah. And again, where is her husband? Like, again, I don't hear anything about this husband.
No, she's taking husband of people, apparently. Because that's what happened for her. That's the thing who happened to her. So all this story about her, I don't know if it's 100% true.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
of course, we watch certain things because it's what we are talking about relationship, and we've been talking about her since a while. So I see the audios, I see the podcast as well with those guys that I don't understand what she went to a podcast
to kind of admit what she did.
Admit what she did to those guys who are there to trap her.
Right.
So these whole things, I don't even know if maybe they're all playing. Because where will you go somewhere when you see the guy make a first video of you with proof of messages sent by his audience about what you said, and then you go to a podcast to confirm
that
what's happened?
Your phone, or you know your team's number. Look, at the end of the day, the whole point here is that you can't trust people who have such left field opinions. Again, especially if they haven't lived the life that you want to live. Now, you can want to be rich and glamorous and all that stuff, which they are, and they have the money and all of that stuff. However,
we don't even know, by the way, also about that.
but all I'm trying to say is, like, just because they have everything materially doesn't mean they got it sorted out. That doesn't mean that they got it figured out.
And that's another problem that you just, again, you're smart, babe. Because that's another thing. Because we are living in a capitalist system, because all the time I same in French, but so we don't say the same for the same reason.
Yeah.
Because someone will show you that he have money, you're gonna trust him more about other things, other topics, than someone who don't have money but live the life of what he's talking about.
That's right.
Just because we are living
they were
in this
able
society.
they were able to
show you the gold, the shine.
Right. Yeah.
And you are here watching the shine and say, oh, everything you say, I take it. You show me that you have it, everything you say, I'll take it.
Well, that's because people think that rich people are the smartest. And yeah, sure, they're the smartest in the things that they're doing in their particular skills. But yeah, most of that, they've cracked the code. They have people to help them. And, that doesn't mean they have every aspect of life figured out. That's just the point.
They are not the smartest. Let's get clear. They are not the smart. You don't have to be the smartest to get rich. And we've seen that.
Yeah, of course.
You can be an OnlyFans. You can be something like that. It's not because you're smart,
Yeah, of course.
But you can see a homeless guy smarter than Elon Musk. He is homeless. You know what I mean?
Right.
But those people crack the code of the capitalism system.
That's right. It's the game.
So they are fully capitalist. So they understand the rules and play very well with it.
Right.
Or I was going to say another thing, but no, it's that. It's literally that.
I mean,
they
they're
understand
constantly
the rules.
saying things. I mean, even Sadia, just recently when we watched a podcast with her and Andrew Tate, she was calling people sheep. And Andrew Tate says it all the time, that people are followers and that they're easy to control. And they're telling us to our faces that that's exactly what they're doing. Like, by their messaging, how they're messaging, the war between men and women, they're using it to gain an audience and to make people react emotionally, because we all know that's what gets you likes, that's what gets you followers, is when you when you make somebody feel something inside. So they'll just say anything. Yeah,
when you don't have value, when you don't have ethics, then it's easier and it's even recommended to crack the code inside the capitalist system.
Yeah.
Because you can be like Sadia Khan, be like all those guys, have a huge following, audiences, make money, and be fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's interesting.
And be fake.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, exactly what you said, because they, Andrew Tate and Sadia Khan have both said that the war between men and women is a societal issue, right? They've both said it, but they've also both blamed women on another podcast or in another conversation. So it's like
they are like the where the wind go there.
Yeah, but they're also, you can see that they have a very holistic understanding of the issue.
Yeah.
It's just that they're choosing to ride the wave and to anger people and to pin people against each other in order to get where they want. And that's the thing. That's why we kind of started our conversations and our podcast, because we did notice that when you're looking at all these online relationship coaches, that's what they do. It's always like, oh, a woman will do this to you, so don't do this. Or a man, all men are like this, so you always have to be like, protecting yourself.
So they want to trigger one part
to
get money from the others.
Yeah, that's right.
From the other part.
No, but the thing is, like, and whilst that might be true and partially true, there is nothing in there to kind of change the narrative. There's nothing in there to positively influence people and to give them actual hope that real relationships, real connection exists, and that is the true value of life. There is nothing in their messaging that says that.
Yeah, but they base all their narrative on this war.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So trying to find the solution and their business.
Yeah.
So that's why I say you You cannot have morals, value, ethical, whatever by doing this. Because you have to continue. They said the day you said no, but I think women also have been for a while oppressed by the system. Because all those problems that we are talking about doesn't come from individual people. I keep saying that it's come from a system, and this system is there way before your grandparents and everything. So if you want to learn, if you want the real answers, you need to go to watch history, real history, because there is people who also live in peace, in gender peace.
Yeah.
And you have to find them, to understand how it was. That's what I did. That's what I did to understand that it is possible, but you literally have to find the answer in another world than this one. That's the problem.
Yeah, you also have to put your ego aside.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing, I think, especially for men. It's so nice to be in a society that celebrates you for doing nothing. No, sorry to say, like, it's great. Yeah. Like, I'm only saying that because, for example, in my culture, like, the moment a man walks into a room, whether he's the son or the brother, he gets to sit down and all the women serve him. And he, eats first, and he's catered to like a baby. So just because he's a man. Yeah. So yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful time for men to live, even though it might be difficult in other ways.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they still have this, upper hand just because they're born a male. So why would you want to challenge that narrative if you feel like a power is going to be taken away from you? Because that's the message that we're getting in the society. The truth of it is your power won't be taken away. It will actually be complemented, elevated, and you as a unit would be more powerful to understand that women contribute a lot more to your success, to your power, and that, they can elevate your life in a very positive way.
That's very true. And also, you can see that someone who never experienced what we are experiencing together.
Yeah.
Someone who never feel, because you can have multiple of relationship.
Yeah, of course.
And still never experience what true love is.
Yes.
Or a true relationship, true compatibility. And this is something that you have to build. You'll never find someone with the full package, like we already said. You'll never find it.
Well, at the end of the day, we're the sum of our choices, our experiences, and our actions. So it's very difficult to see outside yourself.
Yeah.
Also, it's very easy to glamorize what you see on social media, and you're constantly being fed this information. So you are getting the wrong idea because you see couples looking cute online and that's what you strive for, or couples getting rich online and that's what you strive for.
Yeah.
And again, none of this shows depth. None of this shows human connection or love. There is a lack of spirituality. There's a lack of depth when it comes to what people crave in a relationship. So people want it. Yeah. That's what people want so desperately is love, right? We're all humans, we want love. Yeah. It's what you want desperately, but what is not being taught and what is not being promoted is how to actually achieve it, how to actually have the right conversations, and how to be the person who's ready to accept it in a way. Okay, babe, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, do you think that if you made mistakes in the past, you still should have credibility to talk about relationships and give advice to other people, even though you've made mistakes.
Yeah, you make mistake about relationship and things like that.
Yeah, about relationships, of course.
Yeah. I mean, and this is a great question. This is a great question. We all make mistake. First, we all know that we all make mistake. But the difference between someone who make mistake and say it,
right,
and someone who say to people to don't be like this, don't be like that, but at the same time, while they say to people don't do this and don't do that, they are doing it.
Yeah.
This is the difference. I made a lot of mistake.
Yeah.
I can talk about it. I can reflect on it.
Yeah.
I understand them. Yeah. I changed, and I don't do them anymore.
Yeah.
For example, so I feel very comfortable to talk about certain things and tell you, you should not do that, or you should not do this, or from my point of view, or from what I experienced, you should not do that. And I don't care if one day someone find something about me about 10 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't care, because I know who I am now, so I don't care. That's not me anymore, So I prefer someone, by the way, who's gonna be a psychologist or whatever, YouTube about relationship, a YouTuber about relationship, is gonna tell me about their mistake and how they overcame it. Then those people who try to tell you that they are perfect, who try to tell you that their wife loves them so much, their wife do so many things.
Yeah, right.
While you don't even know nothing, you just know those guys on their studio, their fake studio,
right,
their fake diploma, their fakes whatever, and even if they have diploma, it doesn't mean anything. So that's what I mean. It doesn't mean anything. You should have a past with mistake to understand a relationship. That's what I would say. You should have a past with mistake.
I completely agree. Like, so if we talk about Paul Brunson, right? So for him and Matthew Hussey are the only ones who talk about having a wife.
Okay.
Right. I mean, their strategy is completely different, let's say, to Sadia Khan and to Andrew Tate and Myron and all that stuff. And they're more on the therapy, psychology side from, from like an educational perspective.
Yeah.
They are the only ones who talk about having a wife and having a long relationship and having some troubles.
Yeah.
However, again, they're talking from a male perspective, and they're talking by themselves.
Oh, I think Matthew Hussey tried to do a podcast with.
No, he does have something with his wife. He does,
okay. Yeah,
and they actually had like good banter, and you can see that they have a good connection.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very rare to see an actual couple who shows compatibility and love and banter and a connection, talking about how to be a couple or how to attain that kind of love. So, for example, Paul Brunson, we all know he's been in a relationship for a very long time. He's been married for a long time with his wife, and you see the pictures of his family in the background of his podcast. But again, it's not like you can feel any of it.
Yeah.
You just hear it. You see the photo and you take what he says and you believe it.
But you can't really, like, if you're a viewer, you can really, if you're not in a relationship, like you said, you can't really imagine yourself.
Yeah.
And said,
this is what I aspire to have. This type of relationship and this type of strong connection.
Yeah.
You can say that on a surface level, and that's all I'm trying to say is with all of the coaches, no matter what type of coach there are, it's mostly surface level.
They don't go inside their own story.
Yes.
What they are living.
Yes.
To say that as well, this is what I learned from my mistake.
Right.
Actually, one couple do that. The Gottman.
Yes, the Gottmans do that. Yeah, but they're on a whole different level, and I wouldn't even. That's exactly right. I wouldn't even. They're not comparable to any of them because they've literally dedicated their whole life to relationship.
Yeah.
And research and strategies on how to be married for a long time. And
how to overcome issues.
Right.
Well.
And also predict whether or not, you're going to stay together. So, yeah, the Gottmans are really the only ones that I can't even put them in the same class.
They're not in the same, and even them, they are not in the same class. When you watch what they are doing or whatever,
exactly.
It's not like the other YouTubers.
Yeah, they have a whole relationship institute.
Yeah, institute, yeah.
So
exactly.
it's a completely different level. And even when you see them, who is the talker?
Yeah.
If you see them,
the wife?
The wife is the one who's kind of I wouldn't say in charge, but in a sense dominant in one way, and he's the more calm one, and the more slow-paced one.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different dynamic again to all of the things that is promoted about relationships, right? Where we always talk about the man is the head and the man is the dominant and Again, you see this beautiful couple who's dedicated their life and they still have a connection. They're really cute. Even when you see them interact together, that's a relationship that you want to have. That's a relationship to aspire to, and you see it with your eyes and you feel it.
Yeah, and that's when you talk about like they never get deeper in their issue. It would be interesting for us, for example, to talk as well about our past.
Sure.
Personally, like that, to see what we are, what we were, where we were, and what we are now.
Absolutely.
As well. This is as well important for someone to connect with you, to understand that you weren't the one that you are now during 30 years.
Yes.
Of course not. Sometimes it's been 6 years that you are who you are now.
That's exactly right. Because all your experiences shape you and change you, and you would hope that make you evolve, right?
Yes.
And so I think it's very important to talk about your past, to not really just even talk about your mistakes, but talk about the things that made you learn or made you be a better person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So on that note, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
And we'd love to hear what you think about relationship coaches. And do you agree with us? Do you disagree? We'd love to hear it.
We'd love to hear the army of Andrew Tate and Myron and Sadia. Come here. If you want real advice as well, come.
We'd love to have a conversation. So, comment below.
Comment below and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.